Hey guys, Robin here, and welcome back to the Fruits of the Literature Club, Part 6. Now, this will most likely, I want to say that this is going to be the final episode, and then I'm going to move on to the next mod after Fruits. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what is going to come with it. I really want to know what it's going to be like. I'll enjoy it. But, yeah. I'll get into like the next mod at the end of the video, but we're on the final episode. I would want to say this is the final episode. I want to say this is, after this is it. Like, this is it. So, like, my memory's a little bit blank from last time. Because I don't remember too much from last time. Yeah, no, that's right. Last episode, MC died. That's right. And then it was just all about it mourning his death, and now I'm pretty sure this one's gonna continue mourning his death. And then result to the end of the mod, meaning, like, I don't know, either they take down Natsuki's dad or he doesn't and MC's just fucking dead. Either way. Alright, well, that already starts off with a good, that's already a very great start. But as I said, this should be the final episode of Fruits, so I'm looking forward to it. I really want to know what it's like. Maybe just turn the music down just a tiny little bit. Because for some reason the last episode got copyright claimed, so I hate that so much. But let's get into the Fruits of the Literature Club Part 6, the final episode in the Natsuki route. The final episode. After everything that we've been through, we're finally at the final one. So, this is it. So, I'm stalling for too long because I don't know what else to talk about. So, yeah. And yeah, this is and we ended it up with Julia talking with questioning the guy who killed MC. So. The pitch black room swallows me as the door closes behind me. Pressing a button near the door, the room lights up to expose the rogue agent. He is seated against the wall in the corner of the room and looks up at me. Hello, Julia. You going to talk to me? Because I'm not in the mood to play childish games with you. That's a shame. What use is it to keep me here then? You know I'm not going to talk. So, you would rather spend the rest of whatever time you have left in this darkened room? Doesn't respond and shrugs his shoulders. Because I control how long of a life you live now. And I can do whatever I want with you. Or, you can just tell me what I want to know and I will let you go. What? You're lying. Haha. No, I'll grant you your blanket immunity for oh god, I can't speak. No, I will grant you blanket immunity for ousting anyone else involved in your little scheme. And what if I operate alone, huh? What then? You didn't act alone. You were taking orders. He tries to speak, but I cut him off by raising my hand. I know you're kind. I know you're kind. I deal with your kind. I am your kind. Do not attempt the bullshit a bullshitter. I know you were taking orders and that this wasn't just a one-time event for you to one-up a 4-digit. A 4-digit that couldn't defend himself. Huh. What better time to take him out? Kind of like you right now, eh? You wish. What's to stop me from doing exactly to you what you did to Jake? Reach into my suit pocket and pull out the garrote wire that was used to strangle Jake. His eyes widen slightly, but he maintains his bearing and fortitude. What's stopping you is information. You want information that I have? And if you kill me, you won't get it. Oh, I won't get what I want one way or another. I reach down and grip his throat with my right hand, making sure my nails dig into his skin. Why did you go after Jake? Because I felt like it. I squeeze harder against his neck. Care to elaborate? No. Jesus. I release my grip from his throat and quickly slam my left hand against his temple, throwing him into the wall. You bitch. I grab onto his hair and pull him up to his knees. No, 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 no. You have it backward. I lean forward and put my face inches from his. You are the bitch. You are my bitch. Wow. He swings his head back, preparing to headbutt me, but I lean away from him fast enough to kick him in the chest and send him flying back into the wall. Oh! Looks back up toward me, rage burning in his eyes. But the sound of the metallic lock being released causes us to look at the door. When it opens, Mayuki peers her head and locks eyes with me. Everything going fine, ma'am? I straighten my posture and pat my waist and legs down. Yes, thank you. She nods in affirmation and closes the door. Turning back to restrained man on the floor, I lower myself to eye level again. If you don't want to talk, that's fine. You can always write. Retrieve a small piece of metal from the suit pocket and push him against the wall. What are you doing? Open your mouth. What? As he speaks that word, I jam the piece of metal into his mouth, forcing it open. You'll have to excuse me. I don't have my orthodontics degree yet. Is that supposed to be a joke? I don't get it. I slide out on a small self-defense knife and raise it to his mouth. He grunts and his eyes widen, eventually shocked by what I intend to do. Why do you look so shocked? I said it's fine if you don't talk. Using my index, middle finger, and thumb, I grab onto his tongue and force it out of his mouth. He struggles and rides his tongue against my fingers, and it makes me slightly nauseated. It feels like I'm trying to grab a lean piece of raw steak. The tip of the blade rests against the top of his tongue, and he starts to freak out. You can always write what I want to know down. Oh, that reminds me. Are you righty or lefty? He just stares at me, panic in his eyes. Just need to know, so I know what hand to spare. You don't need the other fingers, do you? When I finish that sentence, he starts to scream and thrash around, causing my blade to just slightly cut into his tongue. Stop freaking out! You'll make me nick something I don't want to. He freezes instantly, grunting like he's trying to say something. What is that? I can't hear you over having me in your mouth. Hee. Are you gonna talk? For a brief second, he nods yes. I remove both the knife and the brace from his mouth. Gah. The fuck is wrong with you? Fun to hear that coming from you. Considering what you did, I think this is mild. Tisk. Stand up and rub my hands on my pants, trying to get the man's saliva off my fingers. Disgusting. Now, start talking to me about this attack on your peer. Peer? That's a funny word for it. He was a fellow agent. No, he was not. He was from my division, and he was not my friend. He was not my brother. The men I work with are my brothers. Not that wuss of a lone wolf. The only reason you're in this position is because of him. Now that he's gone, what is left for you? More than you can possibly imagine. Well, not like I care anyway. I did what I was supposed to. Why? He doesn't respond and looks down at the concrete floor. I asked you a goddamn question. My hand stings after the intense impact against the agent's temple. Why did you do it? Because I was told to. By who? He remains silent and looks up at me, fury in his pupils. By who? I can't tell you. Why not? Because if I do, they'll kill me. If you don't, I'll kill you. And I guess I'm fucked either way. He sits back and looks calmly at me. The Eastern Branch. What about them? The Eastern Branch asked me to take out the Reaper. You're kidding me. No, Julia. I had my arm pulled behind my back. If I didn't kill him, they would have killed my family. Who in the Eastern Branch ordered this? Malignant nonsense. Wish I could tell you, but that is all I know. No, you're lying to me about this. Maybe I am, and maybe I'm not. I've said all I wanted to. You aren't going to get anything else from me. Oh, no. You and I aren't done yet. I want names, I want dates, and I want times. He smirks cockily at me, turns his head away. Fine, I will play your game. That lock clicks, and once again, like clockwork, Mayuki sticks her head in. Ma'am, checking in. Mayuki, can you bring in 2 deck agents out there with you? Yeah, of course. Mayuki leaves both the agents in, and they comply. They look between me and the restrained captive curiously. Will you fine gentlemen mind lending me a hand with a pest problem I have? My wrist and look at both the agents in their eyes. They nod in agreement. Perfect. Let's start. Are we... Wait, is this Mayuki? Are we in Mayuki's point of view? Well, that was an interesting first 10 minutes. Alright. Okay. I see your game. Alright. I closed the door with Julia, the 2 deck agents, and the imprisoned man inside of the cell. She asked me to make sure her pager was clear and that internal affairs hadn't tried to contact her. I have no idea what she's doing to the man in there, but I have a feeling I don't want to know. After all, I respect and admiration for my supervisor no bounds. I'd follow her through oh god, I can't really do Mayuki that well. I'd follow her through hell and back if I had to. But ever since that day, she's been completely different. She only shows disdain for herself, like all the respect and prestige she has earned is gone. And I guess seeing Natsuki didn't help either. The young girl was a great girlfriend, and Julia couldn't bring herself to tell her what happened. With that, I have one other concern. How she will react when this is all over. Because I know her very well. She will get the information she wants, but what she will do with it, no one can predict. After all, Jake was a son to her. She and I essentially betrayed that trust and forced him into a situation that we didn't know was going to be fatal. No matter who you are, you wouldn't take the consequences well. I mean, the look in her eyes when we first apprehended the agent, it was like she was a completely different person. For the stories about her when she was a field agent, but even so, I wouldn't have expected her to become like this. This is why I'm worried about Julia. Can we change perspective now? Because I don't really like doing Julia. Okay, oh wait, are we... Okay, now we're Natsuki, right? Now we're at Natsuki's point? Okay. So, this is Natsuki, right? This is Natsuki. It's so quiet too, so... My voice has to help the situation, guys. Alright. Anyway, let's continue. That was pretty interesting. Beating up an agent? Hell yeah. Alright. While I sluggishly paced through the corridor toward the club room, I stopped by the restroom briefly and sent Monica a message. Quickly pressing the send button, I put my phone away and start to head toward the club room again. I arrive at the door, I peek in and make eye contact with Monica. She immediately stops what she is doing and walks out into the hallway with me. Hey Natsuki, you aren't looking all that good. Is everything okay? Didn't you get my message? No, I didn't. Monica, As soon as I hear her soft and caring voice, I lose all emotional stability and my eyes start to sting. She bitterly frowns and opens her arms to offer me a hug. Without even thinking about it, I have my arms around her and rest my head against her chest. Monica secures me in hug by placing her arms around me and softly speaking into my ear. What happened, Natsuki? The violent grumble in my stomach prompts tears to leave my eyes and make my cheeks their home. I don't know where to start. My dad or Jake? I normally hide what is happening between me and my dad, but Monica has always known. She worries for me. She's a very sweet girl, and I'm very happy to have her as a friend and a club president. But I still have the hesitations about talking about this stuff. It's not the easiest thing to share. But at this point, I have nowhere to turn. My father is becoming worse and worse, and he stopped feeding me completely. The water bottle in my backpack has been filled and emptied more times than I can remember today. After all, it's easy to get rid of the hunger pains if you fill your stomach with water, even if it's just for a short time. Monica went to Jake's house yesterday to check on him. Uh-huh, I remember. Saw Julia and some other girl there taking boxes out of his house and putting them into a car. It wasn't nowhere to be seen. I tried to talk to his guardian, but she didn't even look at me. Like something extremely bad happened, and she was afraid to tell me. They were taking boxes out of his house? God, fucking damn it! Not to affirm her and tighten my hug. That's strange, especially since none of us has heard anything. Do you have any theories? None that I care to say out loud. Yeah, that probably isn't the right thing to do right now. He rests a hand on my head and tenderly strokes my hair. The least we can do right now is hope for the best, alright? That's not all. Release each other from our hug. He looks into my eyes, waiting for the coming news. Ugh. I'm so sorry. I honestly don't know what to say right now. Don't apologize. Not like I was going to expect you to know what to do either. Well, I'll be honest. I have no idea what to do regarding your father, but you can't just let it happen. Natsuki, sweetheart. He is starving you because he's an insensitive and selfish He stops himself, closing her eyes and raising her index finger. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off like that. Don't apologize. I feel the same way you do. Place my hands on my hips and look off to the side. Well, I'm not gonna stand around and watch you starve. Come with me to the lunchroom really quickly. I'm gonna buy you something to eat. Huh? You don't have to do that, She grabs my hand and starts to pull me along with her. Just as Monica said, she takes me to the lunchroom and purchases an after-school snack for me. Did you just get darker? I think it just got darker, didn't it? I repeatedly tell her that she doesn't have to, but she refuses to listen. That's exactly what I would do. Even though I'm that way, like, I don't like when people are like, Like, I don't like it when people just, like, tell me that, no, god damn it. I'm like Natsuki sometimes. I don't like when people do stuff like that for me. But feel bad, but sometimes I'd be doing that same exact thing. Doing it the opposite way around. Deep down inside, I'm super thankful she did this for me because I'm actually able to eat for once. But I just don't want to ask anyone for help. I don't need it. I can take care of all of this myself. However, while we were walking back to the lunchroom, I happened to notice a figure walking into the club room. When Monica and I enter the room, I see a woman in a black suit standing near one of the desks, casually chatting with Sayori and Yuri. She notices us and catches and her eyes directly meet mine, and mine alone. Hello. Oh, hi, Julia. Can I speak to you outside? Sure. Julia walks toward the door, and as she passes me, she places her hand ever so gently onto my back, coaxing me along. When we get outside, she closes the door behind us. Hey, so I just wanted to apologize for how I acted towards you. I was going through something at the time, and it made it extremely difficult to speak or express any emotion at that moment. Why? Did something happen to Jake? Julia's eyes remain emotionless and broken, a single one of them watering. She rests her hand against my shoulder and looks at me in the eyes, really trying her best to say something. It looks like she has the words she wants to say stuck in her throat. Julia? Natsuki, I made a mistake. A very, very big mistake, and I don't know how I can forgive myself. Most importantly, I don't know how to break it to you. Oh my god. Do you mean he's dead? The tear that she held in her eye finally falls down her cheek while she nods. No. He's gone. I take a few steps back from her and cover my mouth with my hands. She tries to stop herself from crying, but both of her eyes are completely watery now, just barely stopping the tears from running down her face. Jake. All of a sudden, my knees feel weak, and my stomach drops to the point of nausea. She moves her hand from my shoulder to my back, pulling me into a hug. Her perfume wafts into my nose, making this moment all the more personal. I tightly grip onto Natsuki. The poor young girl cries into my shoulder. Fighting off my own emotions, I do my best to try and comfort her. But I know I'm failing. I'm not the greatest at breaking news like this. Nor am I with receiving the emotions it instigates, especially with someone so close to Jake. I clicked. I pull myself away from her and offer her some form of support because I know that this is what he would want. Natsuki, I know everything that has been going on with you. Jake has made me fully aware of your circumstances. And I just want you to know, I'm going to be here to help you through it. If you ever need anything, I want you to call me. Reach in my suit jacket to retrieve one of my business cards. It has my office and my direct cell number. Seriously, if you ever need anything, I want you to call me. Look up and down the hallway to make sure no one else can hear or see us. Jake mentioned to me before that your father wasn't feeding you much. Have you eaten today? He hasn't fed me at all. He's done doing that. Jesus Christ. But one of my friends bought me some food earlier, so I'm fine for now. Alright. A man's voice comes down from the hall. No! Don't you do it. No! Am I really about ready to do this asshole's voice? Natsuki, are you ready to leave or what? I've been in the car waiting. A man in a white dress shirt and black slacks menacingly walks down the hallway. Using the index finger of his right hand, he pushes the bridge of his glasses up, centering them to his eyes and nose. His voice is instantly demanding and, to someone who is easily intimidated, fear-bringing. Sorry guys, Jesus. But it doesn't even faze me. I continue to stare at him. As he converges on us, Natsuki looks between him and I, almost on the brink of panic. Okay, before we continue on, I definitely want to say that the scene with that, I think, like, that's literally, I think that was probably so true, because, like, in other mods, I would probably say, like, they'd probably be breaking it down, just, like, full on bringing it down, but, like, Julia just, like, couldn't bring it into herself to say that he was gone, and doing that, of course he couldn't do it. Like, he's dead after all, and she couldn't break it down to her, especially to Natsuki. She's going through pain, emotional, and that's exactly what it should be like. So I feel like that scene in particular did need to do better. It did well as it was. It did great, because that's literally accurate. That's literally what someone would do. That's literally what I would do. I would be sick and pain and processing to where I wouldn't be able to know how to break it down. So that's how I like how. That's why I like how they played that scene out with, like, giving out what she wants to say. So it's pretty interesting. But alright, let's continue. She scoots closer and closer to me, and away from who I presume to be her father. His gaze meets mine, and he furrows his brow as if I am an inconvenience to him. What do you mean, Dad? What I mean is that I have been in the car waiting for you for a long time. Why? I usually walk home after the club. I called you, and I sent a text message. Huh? I watched Natsuki reach into her pocket and pull out her phone, her face contorted in confusion. I don't have anything from you, Dad. Wait a minute. My phone says it has no service. That would make sense on why when she texted Natsuki there wasn't a... Oh, that would make sense. Because if Monica didn't get a text message from Natsuki, that means that her phone is turned off. So he must have turned off her phone plan. That's a dick move. Well, it's because it's her father, but like still, you need your you need your phone for police and everything like that. I wonder why it says that. Why are you saying like I sent a text message and it's like, oh, that's alright, turn off your phone. Natsuki's father scratches the stubble of hair he has on his chin while speaking in the condescending, mocking tone. The tone alone is enough to warrant an immediate negative impression of the man. Did you turn my phone off? It seems like it, doesn't it? Why would you do that? The man once again glances over and meets my gaze. This isn't something you should be throwing a tantrum about in public. Tantrum? If you want your phone service back so bad, go ask your boyfriend to do it. He scoffs under his breath and angles his body away while he pushes his glasses back up. Natsuki stands completely still, shocked at what her father just said to her, and I assume after the news I just gave her, this might have broken her. Subconsciously, my hand balls into a fist in pure outrage at what this despicable human being just said. You really think this is an appropriate way to speak to your daughter? And who are you to tell me how to parent? What I said was rather simple. If she wants her phone back on, she can ask her super reliable and amazing boyfriend to turn it back on. Natsuki starts to tremble before dropping to her knees. He can't. Because he's dead, Dad. She buries her hand in her hands, crying uncontrollably. Damn. I kneel beside her and rest my hand on her back, gently rubbing it to try to comfort her. Oh, well, that is certainly that certainly is unfortunate. But I couldn't care less. He was a nuisance anyway. Natsuki, let's go. Excuse me? How dare you say something like that? I'm sorry, who are you? I'm Jake's guardian. I've cared for him since he was a child. I see. Well, you owe my condolences at least. But maybe you're the one who needs to be taught about parenting. Your whatever you want to call him was nothing but trouble and disrespectful to me. Hell, I wouldn't even doubt that his attitude was what resulted in him passing away. Anyway, back to the topic here. Natsuki, stop crying and get up. He reaches down and grabs Natsuki's arm, pulling her up to her feet and like a rag doll. How can he be so intense and insensitive? How can he be so... Julia, calm down. You honestly can't afford to take matters into your own hands here at the school right now. But now, I guess I understand how much of a problem he is to Natsuki. No, how much of a problem he is in general. Only a monster would say such things. As they walk down the hallway, Natsuki wipes a tear from her face and glances back. Jake. I now know what you're talking about when you spoke of this man. He reminds us of someone, doesn't he? I hate that phone ring. I hate it. It's so loud. The sudden shock of my phone ringing distracts me from my agitation. Clicking my tongue, I reach in my pocket and grab the blaring commission phone. Answering the phone call, I place the handset onto my ear, unable to give a greeting before I'm cut off. Ma'am? Julia, are you there? Yes, Mayuki, I am. What is wrong? I think we finally have a lead on what that agent meant by Eastern Branch. You're kidding. I'm on my way to the office now. I'll be waiting. Oh, and how did it go? It went worse than I had expected. She took it really hard. I don't blame her. Well, I'm glad you told her. Can you do me a favor, please? What is it, ma'am? Jake's phone should be inside of my desk, bottom drawer. I want you to turn it on and look through the contacts for Natsuki's phone number. Once you have it ported and connected to my private account. Yes, I will have that done before the time you get here. I appreciate Mayuki. And whatever you do not message Natsuki from his phone. Are we clear on this? Crystal, ma'am. Alright, good. I'll see you soon. And the call and quickly return my phone to my seat pocket, making my way down the stairs and toward the parking lot. I quickly and quietly closed the door to my office behind me. That was quick! Nani? That was really fast. Okay, we're already 30 minutes into this. We're gonna have to make this go a really long episode, guys. Yet again, though, I already have like a 2-hour one and an hour and a half one, and like they're all hours. So like this one's gonna be shooter. Anyway, enough talking. Mayuki sat next to my desk with a folder sitting atop her lap. Her hands rested on it. Good evening, ma'am. Sorry I took so long. You don't need to worry. Here, take a look at what's in this folder. She reaches the folder out to me, which I grab and sit down. Opening the folder reveals several documents that pertain to asset recovery and destruction. The date is listed as the day before the raid on Jake's house. Wait, oh my god. Is this the order? I feverishly emptied the contents of the folder onto my desk and spread the pages across its surface to examine each and every one. Several papers directly relate to what I have been looking for ever since the start of this. But it said, the header reading Central Branch, it reads Eastern Branch. As soon as I read those words, my blood runs cold. As I didn't expect that to be true. What the hell's going on? I read through the document with an intense scrutiny, taking in everything at once. At the bottom are two signatures. One is an authorizing admin member, which is automatically printed for specific people, and the other is an ensuing agent. Ensuing agent's name is Hideki Abayashi. Immediately, without speaking a single word, I wake my computer up from sleep and pull out the database for personal records. Searching up Hideki Abayashi pulls up no results from my database at all. Mikey looks at the computer screen attentively, revealing with me as we continue the investigation. Mayuki, there are no records for the issuing agent Abayashi at all in the CB. You were an Eastern Branch agent. Do you know anything about the records? At the time, I was just a field agent, so I didn't have much exposure to the records system. But I think it would be safe to assume the records are similar to ours. Damn. Since it's an entirely different branch than ours, I would have to go to the assistant director about this. How would you even get her to agree to that? Well, lucky for us, she's a reasonable woman, and she had taken a liking to Jake. I don't think she will have any strong opposition to locating a traitor in our agency. I see. You really do have some tricks up your sleeve. I'm not a division chief for nothing, my sweet assistant. Mayuki grins devilishly and sits back in her seat. Devilishly? Alright, so now we have at least a lead. Where did you even get this? Well, I saw how badly this was affecting you, and the repercussions that came from this entire endeavor affect the agency more than anything. We can't have something like this reoccur. I spoke to a few of my colleagues, and we started searching very odd sources and archives. Eventually, we started to locate anything that involved 4219's service number, and we ended up finding this order is in an obscure server that is owned by, well, you know now. So you essentially broke several privacy regulations and accessed another branch's archives without permission? Yes, ma'am. I could kiss you right now, you know? And Yuki giggles to herself. I like how Yuri, or not Yuri, like what happened to the other characters? What happened to the other characters? Like, come on. Other characters exist, right? The other Dokis exist, like Sayori and Yuri exist, right? I don't know. Thank you for all your help. I couldn't have done any of this without you. You've been through a lot. It was my pleasure to assist. Alright, so let's get everything together, and then I can run to the assistant director's office. She is still here, right? Yeah. Awesome. After gathering the information and documents I intend to present, I run through how I can plan to present everything over 100 times. Once I'm more than confident in my approach, I grab everything and head to the administration hall. The hall that everyone most fears. If you're ever going to report to the administration hall, it's never for a good reason. There's always some sort of investigation, or questioning, or termination. Ugh. It even gives me the shivers. But I continue along the red-carpeted path down the strangely eerie corridor, glancing at many pictures of the agency's history hanging on the wall. The expensive mahogany frames of the pictures prove the wealth of the agents has occurred throughout its life. And, if that wasn't enough, the hallway ends with a small reception area where you would normally check in to speak to the assistant director. But considering that the secretary has gone home for the day, that is not necessary. I could just knock and ask for permission. The large, ornamental wooden door sits beside the reception room, a gilded doorknob protruding from it. The marbling of the wood is exquisite, which complements it in every way. Reaching to the wood, I use the knuckles of my index, middle, and ring fingers to gently knock. Who is it? Ma'am, it's Julia, the division chief. I have to speak to you about 4219. Before I can receive a response, the door opens, and a woman in a gray suit stares back at me.
Make it quick. I'm fixing to leave in a minute.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know, I just felt like I had to give her something.
What is it? Do you have any information on what has been going on?
Actually, ma'am, I do. Place the folder down onto the dark brown, almost black desk. As she sits down, she looks at it cautiously. Based on the information provided by the incarcerated agent, I was able to determine and confirm that the orders were given by an agent in the Eastern Branch. As soon as she hears that, she stares directly up at me, her eyes lighting a fire that I haven't seen the likes of before.
No, that's not possible. You did something wrong.
I gestured to the folder with my left hand and put my right into my pocket. You're free to look at what's in the folder.
Whatever's in there, it better definitely back up on your preposterous accusation. And your branch orders are strictly prohibited without administrative approval. And I have not provided my approval for such acts.
She reaches over to the folder and opens it callously. Her body language suggests that I'm wasting her time with this. But as she reads the first page, her eyebrows lift in surprise. Doesn't respond and leans back into her chair, licking the tip of her thumb and turning the page.
So, the bastards actually did it.
Ma'am?
Well, I guess I'll eat crow. You were right about this. This is going to severely complicate things on my end, son of a...
Did not know of this. Not like I would even consider approving something like this on the branch's best 4-digit. He plops the folder back down onto the desk and rubs her temples. Ma'am, I know of a way we can go about this.
I'm all ears.
The issuing agent is named Hideki Abayashi. And I know you're at the level of clearance that allows the pulling up records any of the branches.
That you want me to just, I don't know, bypass security protocol and search up confidential records without notice?
All I'm suggesting is we find out who this Hideki Abayashi is and why he committed a huge treasonous taboo. Oh my god, I haven't got to say like anything once. This is so long. Like we're like 40 minutes in. What the fuck? It's so long. Like I need to have my opinions at some point. It would also be unfortunate if he were here to come into harm by random chance of his aggressions against us. My agent. The assistant director taps the bottom of her chin with her index finger, visibly pondering to herself about consideration. I see.
That would be unfortunate. But I guess there's no way of me stopping this random chance, is there?
I don't think so, ma'am.
I guess I'll need to look through his file eventually. Come here.
A compliance stand next to her as she opens a laptop that was closed and positioned neatly to the side. She quickly connects to the agency's secure browser and logs into a records panel I haven't seen before. To be frank, its simplistic Windows 7 esque layout is extremely intimidating. That system contains information about nearly the entire agency and contains almost everything about them. When receiving paper copy from the records system, I have personally seen it be blacked out. The amount of censored and classified information contained in this system would be extremely detrimental for anyone unauthorized to view. Types of the information they order into their pre-made search query. I look around the room and my nervousness peaks, so much that my hands start to tremble and my heartbeat speeds up.
Alright, while it searches for matches, I want you to know something. The reason why I'm letting you do this is because it involves an attack against my branch and my agents. I don't foresee anything, another opportunity like this rising in the future that would call for such extreme measures.
I understand completely, ma'am. And normally, I wouldn't need to go through you, but seeing how, volatile the situation is, I'm not sure how deep this rabbit hole goes. For all we know, the full administration of EB could have planned this.
I get your point. Now stop making flagrant theories. This isn't a daycare where you can just let your imagination take control.
Yes, ma'am. The computer beeps, signaling the search has finished. It took longer than I expected, but came up with only one record. When the assistant director clicks on the tab, it opens a new window with the agent's information. But according to one of the doctored forms, what? This agent isn't isn't in active duty.
That's not right. The order was issued by him the day before. It says he hasn't been active duty for years.
Could it be that he was used as a scapegoat?
Possibly, but still, his kind of order is validated. A retired agent would never have permitted to go that far.
Wait a second. Biometrics of the agent catch my eye. His height, weight, blood type, eye color, skin color, and ethnicity. Did they say hair color? No. Those aren't normal biometrics for an Eastern Branch agent.
What do you mean?
Just trust me on that. Is there any other information regarding the agent?
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
Here, I was able to locate the registration and indoctrination photo. He pulls up a dated image of the man, and my heart stops.
Oh! Shit! It's Matsumoto! Holy fuck, guys! We just solved this case and now we're gonna go and kill him because why the fuck not? Let's go and avenge MC and save Natsuki. Let's go. Julia, take a squad team with you or something. Just take a squad team with you. It's alright.
Alright, anyway, get the record in shock. My hand's quivering violently now. Oh my god.
What? What is it, Julia?
The image printed on the computer screen is a much younger Matsumoto Kejin. My god, it makes so much sense now.
What? Julia, you need to tell me what the fuck you're talking about now.
That is Natsuki's father. She was Jake's girlfriend. The assistant director remains completely silent. That means
shit.
Sudden surge of adrenaline releases into my body, directing me to sprint out of the agent director's office as quickly as I can. Once I exit the assistant director's office, I quickly make my way to my own and enter it. We finally found out who has been behind all this. All my emotions I have felt, the anger, the sadness, the guilt of my actions, will come to an end soon. I made a decision that I'm never going to forgive myself for. I put someone I cared very deeply about through something I never intended. Even if this ends alright, I will carry that guilt with me. But we will have to hurry. Hideki must know that we found him out. Due to his contact being taken into custody and talking. Plus, he has been a 4-digit agent this entire time, so he must have been following every one of our steps carefully. And now that we're closing in on him, I'm afraid he will try to do something rash before we arrive. The image of him forcibly dragging Natsuki away earlier burns into my mind. God, I hope Natsuki's okay. Oh, we're gonna cut into Natsuki? We're 45 minutes in! Yes, Natsuki's house. Okay, are they gonna go in? Are they gonna... Okay, so... I want to assume they're gonna start and they're gonna go ahead and, they're gonna go ahead and send in the deck agents in with... Because I don't think Julia can go in alone. If she goes in alone, especially if Matsumoto is a... Because didn't they say he was a 4-digit? He might be a 4-digit, I think it was they said. So he's dangerous. If he is a 4-digit. So he's dangerous. And Julia can't take that on by herself. I don't think she could even take on the MC. But, yeah, goddamn. That's surprising. And then I would end it off with a cliffhanger, but, like, I need to get this finished. Like, I keep delaying it because it, like, takes so long to do. So I'm pretty sure we're at Natsuki's point. So, close my eyes and try to picture something else. Something better. Anything that's better than this. Using my hands, I cover my face and wait until it's over. What it is? We're off Dad's bed and run into my room. No! Oh! Are you oh! Ew! Oh, God! Fuck! Damn it! Shit! God! Closing in, locking the door behind me, collapse onto my floor and start crying. Every time this happens, I feel dead inside. I feel dirty and useless. Is my worth only to do that? Gagging on the floor, I consider throwing up to get the taste out of my mouth. Oh, God. Oh, God, that's gross. Oh my God, you guys, please tell me you guys know what I mean. Please, and please don't say it in the comments, please. I don't want YouTube after me. I much prefer the taste of my vomit than bile forces itself up my throat and into my mouth. Placing my hand against my mouth to prevent it from coming out, I swallow it back down. If I throw up here on the carpet, he will beat me again. Not to mention, it won't be easy to clean. Ugh. Mustering the energy to pick myself up off the floor, I managed to catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I'm disgusted with myself. Grabbing some clothes from my dresser, I quickly put them on to hide my body from myself. God. Tears blurring my vision to the point of near blindness. I sat down on my bed and lowered my head. I can't believe any of this. Everything is going downhill. Resting my head into my hands, I silently allow my tears to fall. An hour passes and I manage to calm myself down enough to lie on my bed and rest. I look out my window, watch the stars and the clouds in the distance past. The moonlight shines through my window, just barely illuminating my room with a pretty blue glow. Come to think of it, it's pretty hot in here. I should open the window to cool off. Dad never lets me touch the thermostat, so I don't think that is going to change anytime soon. He's just in the shower right now, cleaning himself off. Never even had the opportunity to do that. I never do. Lifting myself off from my soft and comfy bed, I reach my window and prop it open. A gust of cool air enters my room and immediately starts to cool me off. Ah, that feels nice. A small part of my imagination taking over, I close my eyes and picture myself in a grassy field with tons of fresh air and freedom. Eee. But the door slamming downstairs rips me from my daydream and back into reality. Natsuki! Oh no, now it's saying Hideki. Oh God, why is he screaming? Get your ass down here! Involuntarily, fear forces me to comply. I run to my door, open it, and head downstairs. Okay, this has to be the end of it. This has to be the end of it. Before I can reach the bottom, however, Dad appears around the corner and grabs my hair. As his large hand grips a chunk of it, he pulls me down to the rest of the stairs and into the living room. What are you doing? Look at this. He picks me up by my hair and lowers me to the ground, forcing my head on the floor. On the ground remains what used to be my school uniform. When we had to go home, when we got home earlier, he tore them off of me. Why haven't you cleaned this up yet? You're a goddamn slob. I'm sick and tired of it. Dad, you never gave me a chance to. Ah! Dad slaps me. Dad slaps the right side of my face, causing my head to jerk and my hair to be pulled. This does not make me look good. How do you think I feel? You ripped my clothes off me and dragged me upstairs against my will. He slaps the side of my head again, causing my mind to go blank and my vision to turn blurry for a moment. My stunned gaze, he lets go of my hair and I drop to the ground, slamming my already sore knees against the wood flooring. How dare you talk back to me like that? I made you. I put a roof over your head, gave you a bed to sleep in, and food to eat. I even went out of my way to deal with your incessant friends. And all you happen to think is that I don't care at all. Well, you know what? You're just an ungrateful little bitch. That's it. I've had it with you. My vision clears, I'm able to shake myself out of my daze. Watch him walk around the room, staring at me with violent intent in his eyes. Granted, he has been horrible to me for years, but he has never been this bad before. What is wrong? Something stressing him out? He paces around the room, getting angrier and angrier at me doing absolutely nothing, especially something that I honestly had no say in. Looking down at my tattered and destroyed uniform, I can sense he is only getting more and more frustrated with me. What's he gonna do? At this point, I'm so scared that my hands won't stop shaking, scared that even the slightest of movements will cause him to strike me again. You know, if your boyfriend was still alive, he'd buy you a new uniform. But unfortunately, he's gone. He's dead, and you are alone like you always will be. But you won't have to worry about that for long. Wait, no. Hideki, stop! Don't kill Natsuki! Walks over to me and kicks the tattered remains of my uniform away. When I look up, his gaze meets mine, and the look in his eyes solidify the panic that bubbles within me. He reaches down and picks me up by my shirt, lifting me off the ground and raising me to his eye level. What are you doing? He turns around and slams me into a wall. Ow! Ah! He brings his face inches from mine, making me wince and push my head against the wall. I don't want his face to be anywhere near mine. My voice cracking and coming out weakly, I try to get Dad to stop. Dad, please stop. Shut up! You have done nothing but be a problem for me. And I'm sick of it. And I have no choice but to cut all ties. What? Very quietly under his breath, he speaks those words, sending a surge of shock throughout my body. But what does he mean by that? He moves his hand to my neck. With both of them, he starts squeezing. As his grip straightens around my throat, I feel the air leave my lungs and to never return. My face starts to feel extremely hot, and the panic finally starts to set in. Using my nails to try to claw Dad's right arm to get him to let go. His eyes stare directly into mine, making me claw faster and faster out of fear. However, even though my nails are considerably digging into his arm, he doesn't budge. Why is he doing this? What did I do to deserve this? Dad, I'm sorry. He pulls me away from the wall and slams me back into it. Gah! The back of my skull must have left a dent in the wall or something, because I can feel the indentation of it. He loses his grip on me, and I manage to take a big breath of air in. But just as quickly as I can, he retightens his grip on my throat. Desperately trying to get anything to get him to stop, I try to swing at his face, but I can't reach. He pulls himself just outside the scope of my reach. This is it. I'm going to die by my own father's hand. Why did it have to be this way? I thought he loved me. I thought I was his daughter. What type of father does this to his own child? As my lungs burn and my vision starts to tunnel, my mind goes to one thing. Jake. At least, I'll be able to see him again. Dad loosens his grip on my throat and when someone knocks on the front door, allowing me to breathe as he looks between myself and the door. And contemplates what to do as I gasp for air against the grip of his leathery hands. Or not again, louder and harder this time. Involuntarily grasping for air, I tried the only thing left to save myself. Help me! Help! Gah, you little bitch! He starts to continuously slamming against the wall like a ragdoll until I go limp. My back, my head, my neck, they all hurt very badly. My vision goes dizzy again and I feel strangely weak, like I'm in a daze. Open the door! Shouting is heard from the front door, which prompts Dad to look away. Even while staring into space uncontrollably, I feel Dad's grip on me weaken. Open the door now! What the hell? Don't tell me it's already too late. Wow! They kicked the door open. He's so shocked, guys! Wow! A loud crashing sound comes from the near front door, which startles me out of my dizziness and back into conscious reality. The front door hangs off its hinges and 3 people walk inside. A tall woman with brown hair and 2 men of various sizes on either side of her. The men standing next to her are dressed in all black, with what I think are bulletproof vests and carrying guns. Wait a second. Looking a few times, I managed to get a look at the woman's face. It's Julia! That lets go of me and I slide down the wall, barely hitting the ground. My knees buckle underneath me, but I weakly manage to keep myself upright. Julia. Dab steps away from me and stares directly at Julia. Hideki, give it up. You're going to come with me, and you will pay for what you have done. And what if I don't? Are you going to take me by force? What are they talking about? Why are they calling my dad that? That isn't his name. Well, it is Natsuki. If we have to, we will. Fine. He raises his hands above his head, and the 2 men on either side of Julia slowly walk toward him. Both of the men are close to him, and they reach out for his arms. But almost in the blink of an eye, Dad grabs one of the guy's arms and throws him over his shoulder. It's so fast that I could barely catch a glimpse of it. Huh? The other guy grabs onto Dad's arm and yanks it down, but Dad throws his left hand up against it. The guy's arm contorts up at an angle and makes me instantly sick. He lurches back, and Dad wraps both of his hands around the guy's head and... Oh! He instantly drops limply to the ground. The entire time, Dad's face remains sturdily calm and unexpressive. What is he doing? What's going on here? Dad turns around and swiftly kicks the head of the guy he toppled. You'll have to do better than that. Julia and my father walk toward each other, both of them staring each other down with pure hatred in their eyes. This isn't good. He's going to hurt her. From my angle, I can see my majority of my father's back. But I barely catch something moving on my dad's wrist. Upon further inspection, looks like if he has something hidden in his sleeve. Oh, is it a gun? He and Julia go to swing at each other, but I try to call out and warn her before it's too late. Julia, watch out! He has something up his sleeve! He quickly looks at me and then bolts backward. My dad's fist barely misses her, giving her a window to strike back. She lands a punch squarely into his nose, but he doesn't flinch. He reaches forward and grabs onto her throat, ducking himself down and rotating his hips so he can throw Julia across the living room by her neck alone. Gah! Yeah, see, Julia can't do this. Julia can't, because Julia's not like the MC. The MC is a 4-digit agent, so of course he's gonna be able to do it. Like, he's able to do it. So don't expect you to do it, Julia. At least you tried, though. That's the thing that matters. She breaks her fall with her arms and rolls forward, allowing her to stand up with ease. Whoa. As she recovers, my dad charges her into her and grabs onto her arms. He pulls her close enough that he is able to get his shoulders near her stomach. Dad straightens his back, lifting Julia up. No! Julia contorts her body enough to knee my dad in the face. He stumbles a bit while Julia wraps her legs around his right arm. Quicker than I can comprehend, she kicks her legs out, and my dad comes crashing down over her. She now has him in a lock, stretching his arm out well past the angle I think it should. Wait a second. At this angle, I can see my dad's right sleeve. He has a knife hidden in it. Oh, it was a knife. Before I could even get the word out, the knife slides perfectly into his grip, and he slams it down at Julia. Julia! She catches his wrist with one of the arms and struggles to keep the knife from getting any closer. The other man, who had been knocked out by Dad when he was kicked in the head, gets up and charges. Dad swings his feet across the ground and gets the momentum to lift Julia with his trapped arm. So Let's Go rolls back off his feet, engaging in combat with Julia's savior. When she manages to stand back up, Dad plunges a knife into his opponent's neck and rips it into the side. No! Spinning and turning in his heel, he swings the knife at Julia. She turns and rotates her body while simultaneously backing up, just barely dodging his swings. One of the swings grazes her cheek, and cuts it slightly. Flattening her hand and angling her palm up, she strikes upward of my dad's face. But he barely recoils and pushes Julia's head down against his knee. Oh no! She stumbles weakly and collapses onto the floor. No, God no. He knocked her out. Heh. I said you have to do better than that. But if this is what you're made of, then I would be doing you a favor ending your life. We try to think of something to do to save Julia's life. I could throw something. Thinking faster than I ever had before, I run to the corner of the room and grab a vase. Dad looks down at Julia and places on one of his feet against her neck. Uh-oh. Taking a big breath in, I shout and throw at the vase at my dad's head. Hiya! The vase soars across the room and crashes at the back of his skull, shattering intensely. Ugh! Turns around to look at me, his eyes as terrified as they ever have been. You little... He removes his foot from Julia's neck and starts to charge toward me. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Sprinting to the stairs, I start to climb them, almost 3 steps at a time. He barrels after me faster than I could see him move before. Stretching my small legs as far as they can, I get to the top of the stairs and race to my room. Locking the door behind me, I stare at it and back away. Loud and panic including thumps grow closer and closer at an almost unimaginable speed. The door starts to shake violently as he slams his fist against it. Damn it, I've cornered myself. I can't get out from here. Ooh, no. Walks into the room and stops shortly after the doorway, blocking me in. You know, I'll give you credit. That was a smart idea back there. But every smart idea has its cons. You'll die before her, Natsuki. Dad, please, you don't have to do this. Yes, sweetheart, I do. Just don't struggle. Make it quick for you. You're my daughter after all, and give you special treatment. He steps toward me and grabs onto my neck, lifting me straight off the ground and into the air. No! He squeezes extremely tightly, immediately making my head feel warm and my airflow to be completely blocked. I was in the middle of talking when he grabbed me. I have almost no oxygen in my lungs. Gripping onto his wrist and desperately kicking my legs out to hit him proved to be completely useless. His grip on me, it can't. My eyes start to water as I look down into his. But through the blur of my tears, I see a shadowy figure rise up behind my dad and wrap our arm around his neck. Oh, is Julia back? That was quick to getting unconscious, if that's Julia. Dad drops me to the ground and I start to cough and gasp for air. Every breath I take feels like I'm inhaling ice. It stings so much. Crawling backward away from my dad, I see as the figure throw him over their shoulder. Dad lands on his back and rolls upright. Eventually, I get to the corner of my room and helplessly watch what happens. You have a lot of nerve distracting me from what I'm doing, Julia. Dad slightly raises his fist and steps to the side. The figure steps into the faint blue of the moon. My name isn't Julia Hideki. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! He's not dead! Oh! Oh my god! He wasn't dead? How? They have to explain it. Oh my god, he's not dead? Holy shit. That was such a badass move from just out of nowhere just going, my name isn't Julia Hideki. It just goes, you have a lot of nerve distracting me for what I'm doing, Julia. My name isn't Julia Hideki. You're still alive? I can't believe it. Dick stands before my dad with a look I've never seen before. It's the true look of hatred. Jake! How did you survive? You of all people should know this by now. Jake looks over at me, then back to my dad. You don't kill the Reaper that easily. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. As I lose energy and weaken, I can't do much about this guy strangling me. I tried everything I possibly can, as little there was. My lungs still filled with a decent amount of air, burned to release and take in more oxygen. With though I tightly wrap the wires around my neck, I am unable to do either. In this situation, you can't measure how long your target has left to live, so you wait until they stop moving. Especially during asphyxiation, your opponent will involuntarily move and resist against you until the very end. Then, when they finally go limp, it's safe to assume that you have won. Luckily for me, I have experience with holding my breath and dropping my blood pressure to near deceased levels. One of my main reasons why I tend to control my breathing in stressful situations. But there is a downside. I'll lose consciousness. If he happens to keep his grip on me well after I passed out, then I will die. Oh well. There's no other option. I have to at least try this. These are my final reserves of energy. I force myself to go limp, and I steady my involuntarily convulsions. Each of my limbs tingle, my vision fades to black, and my mind goes blank. The world begins to phase into my vision slowly and obscurely, like I'm viewing everything at a frame per second. An intense and severe migraine resonates within my skull. Strangling to sit up, I rest my left forearm on the concrete floor to prop me up. With my right, I rub my eyes and notice a single figure in the room with me. The agent that had attacked me is nowhere to be found, and the metallic desk from earlier is upturned. As the world clears to sharpens my vision, I look at the figure specifically. Wait, agent? Smaller build, thin and curvy body structure, and black hair tied into a ponytail. Okay, that is Mayuki. Face becomes pallid at the sight of me rising from the dead. You look like you've seen a ghost. No, I've seen the Grim Reaper himself. Pushing myself with my forearms set up, press my head on my neck. Ooh. Mayuki stands frozen, unable to move and having a very hard time speaking. Pressing against my neck with my hand, the raw skin from the wires stings sharply. Judging by the way the desk and the chairs are strewn about the room, I'd say the agent who attacked me has been caught and taken in. Wouldn't be too far off to say that Mayuki probably has a medical team coming down here to retrieve my body, which could actually work out in my favor. How long until the medical team gets here? Like less than a minute. Counsel them, but tell Julia they took my remains. Huh? You don't want her to know you're alive? No. Best that for now everyone thinks I am dead, including Julia. She stands there before me, apprehensive. Listen, I'm really sorry about how I acted earlier. The entire reason for this was to draw out the traitors and move my hand to stop her from talking. I understand. I had a hunch. You did? When? Right around the time the looming oaf wrapped a wire around my neck. After recovering myself and sitting down with Mayuki, we had discussed that it was best I remain incognito until we find out who is responsible behind all of this. But I am a fairly recognizable person, so I will have to blend in and stay out of the spotlight for a while. Oh boy. Thankfully, I have to be pretty good at makeup, so I think I can help you blend in for a while. Well then, take me up, Mayuki. She turns and hides her blushing face, proving to me that she has considered that before. Julia will be leaving the office soon to retire for the night. She's extremely exhausted from, well, you know. Just let me know when she leaves, and I'll go into it. No, I will escort you. Can't risk you being seen entering a division chief's office alone. You have a point there. I guess I have no other choice then, huh? Afraid not. Just come with me, and make sure to cover your neck when walking past someone. Yeah, imagine the discolored line across my neck would be a red flag to a passerby. Extremely. She reaches behind her head and adjusts her ponytail. After she extends her hand out to me. I'm relieved that you're still with us, Jake. I, too, reach out my hand and wrap it around hers. Through the softness of her hand, I can feel it gently quiver. After all, I assume some jittering is normal after an event such as this. But after we ended our handshake, I follow her carefully around the building until we get to Julia's office. So Mayuki and I make sure Julia's gone for the night. She ushers me into the office and sits me down. She leaves for a few minutes while I sit in the dark office and think to myself. I hate to have to play dead for a while, but I can't afford to have anyone figure out that I'm still alive. Mayuki has a lock on the medical team and has informed Julia that my body cannot be seen yet. So we have that road covered. However, the hard part is remaining away from Natsuki and the girls until this is over. But it isn't like I have any other choice. Now that I am dead, the search for these operations kingpin will be much easier. There won't be anything for them to hide behind to get close to me. Yeah. But before I can delve further into thought, Mayuki returns to the room with a large, overly complex makeup kit. Before long, the mark around my neck is covered up, and a few features about my face have been changed to make me less recognizable. Won't lie, Mayuki is one talented beautician. Couldn't even recognize myself at first, reinforcing my prior resolve in making my worries disappear. From there, we planned out what we were going to do. Getting a little cloudy out. Should probably head out soon. I agree. It probably shouldn't take long as well. Get in, grab his stuff, and get out. Ha. I know it isn't going to be easy, ma'am, but we need to retrieve his critical agent information before anybody else does. No, I understand. It has to be done. We can't let that fall into unauthorized hands. Julia grabs her keys and stands up from her desk. Her face is blank, her eyes glossing over to prevent the intense emotions she feels inside. So the agent said the Eastern Branch sent that order? Correct. Doesn't sound right to me, but I can't help but feel that that may be true. Yeah, I feel there is some merit to it. But I haven't the foggiest clue as to why EB would do this. I have no idea either, but I think I have a hunch. What is it? There has to be some sort of paper in order that was created to even authorize the attack on you. If we can find that order, we can have verifiable proof against the EB. Not to mention, we could get a name from the signature. Precisely. So how do you suppose we go about getting this proof? We start looking in the Eastern Branch's files. And how do you suppose we do that? Just go up to them and ask? Why ask when we can just help ourselves? Mayuki leans forward and winks at me. Got him. I had received a call from Mayuki saying that Julia had gone out to the assistant director with the information we had gathered from our little miniature investigation. Making my way through the labyrinth halls of the field office, I reach Julia's office and quickly slip inside. Closing the door behind me, the setting sun's glow fills the room with an orange haze that I would watch if I wasn't in the particular circumstance. Mayuki stands next to Julia's desk, looking both nervous and tired from our endless work at the top over the last couple of days. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I am literally not getting enough sleep. Sit down, Mayuki, before you collapse from exhaustion. It's exhausting acting like I'm perfectly fine around Julia. I haven't slept a wink in a few days. What about you? You don't look tired at all. Oh, I'm fatigued, but I am more prone to pushing those needs to the side. Jesus. I guess that's why being raised to become a weapon will do to you. Oh, you have no idea. Mayuki sits down on a very high quality comfortable leather couch that Julia has positioned in the middle of the room. I sit down across from her, tipping the 8-point cap I have on to just cover my eyes. Stretching both of my arms across the back of the chair, I sigh and rest my head. Now all we have to do is wait for Julia to return. All of a sudden the door files open and Julia quickly walks in, prompting Mayuki and I to look at her. She looks at Mayuki, then to me quickly before taking a deep breath in. Mayuki, it's her father. What? What? Hideki Abayashi. It's Matsumoto Kenjin, Natsuki's father. He's a 4-digit agent from the Eastern Branch. He's been this entire time. You're kidding. Julie turns and looks at me twice before stopping. Why is he in here? Oh, that's rude, Jules. Huh? Julia's eyes widen and her hands immediately start to shake, moving the cap from my head and give Julia a small smirk. Jake? I stand up, Julia rushes over to me and wraps her arms around me. You're alive! Her voice softens to a very quiet whisper. Thank God. Her embrace on me tightens as she pulls me into her. You can practically feel her despair dissolve as she holds me in her arms, but without a single comment or negative flare, I wrap my arms around her as well. I really missed you. God, I thought you were gone forever. You know, I can't offer you words of comfort other than I missed you too. Aww. Both of us leave the hug, and she looks directly to Mayuki. Did you know about this? Yes, ma'am. She and I have worked together since the incident, and to maintain the atmosphere that was generated, I had to play dead. Fortunately, that also meant you had to believe I was dead, otherwise you could tip off whoever was behind this. Your demeanor had to be genuine. I see. Well, I hate you both for doing that. But it was really smart, so thank you for that. Alright, enough of this mushy crap. So that bastard was behind all this. Oh my god, I need to really press my neck. My stomach drops. I almost feel nauseous. How many times was I so close to him? To this despicable piece of trash that has been tracking me the entire time. He seems angry. MC, you seem really angry, buddy. You should probably take a chill pill. Could have stopped this long ago. None of this would have ever happened if I just ended it when I had the chance. Sorry, Natsuki. If I had acted sooner, then you wouldn't have to deal with this. The least I can do now is make it right. A burning feeling starts deep within my chest, giving me a new presence of vengeful energy. By the time we finally prepare and get outside, the sun has fully set and the night sky greets us. Julia, Mayuki, and I jog out to the other main entrance and down the concrete steps on the field office. God. A black SUV pulls up and the back passenger window rolls down. Ma'am, get in. We're ready to go. Looks back at me with a concerned look in her face, like she doesn't want to leave me alone. I wave her into the car. Just go. I'll be right behind you. She nods and gets into the passenger side of the car. As the car speeds off, Mayuki places her hand on my shoulder. You can take my car. It'll be faster than preparing an SUV. Let's do it then. She pats my shoulder and starts to jog down the side path, leading away from the main roadway. As I follow her, we get into a small, two-seated car and drive to Natsuki's house following the directions I provide. During the pauses between each of my directions, I delve deeper into my mind and contemplation. For the time I've been an agent, I've made a name for myself. I've created a reputation for myself that seems to be more than just a reputation. They call me the Reaper, an entity of vengeance that obliterates any obstacles in its path, seemingly unable to be killed and unstoppable until it drags you to hell. Well, finally it gives an explanation on why he's called the Reaper. Like, goddamn, that took long enough. I never really understand why that connotation has been applied to me. Oh, well, never mind. But now, I'm starting to see why. I'm finally beginning to understand that my only true purpose in this world is to be the one that drags my enemies to hell. Maybe Maybe it's time I embrace the revenant that I am. It'll be the only way I can survive this fight. Hideki is a 4-digit agent, just like I am. 4-digit agents are the agency's top performing weapons. They are capable of doing anything that is within the scope of their skill set. Makes me a little worried about what was about to transpire. I have no idea how skilled Hideki is, nor what he is possibly capable of. But what I do now know is that Natsuki depends on this. I will not fail her again. When we arrive, the SUV that Julia rode is already parked, and the front door has been kicked in. Looks like they already started. Mayuki, I want you to stay in the car. I'll go in and check. She doesn't respond and just nods in affirmation. Opening and closing the car door quietly, I skulk up the driveway and the front door. Stepping carefully through the doorway, making sure I'm being completely quiet, I peek around a small corner and into the living room. The agents that arrive with Julia are collapsed into the ground, one bleeding profusely from their neck. Because snapped one of their neck. Scanning the room further, I notice Julia slumped over in the corner of the room. Son of a bitch. Peeking my head around the corner a little further to extend my right range, I conclude that no one else is in the room with me. Natsuki and Hideki are unaccounted for. Quickly making my way to the living room, I check Julia's pulse and find that she still has one, weak at best. It must have taken one hell of a beating because she doesn't go down easily. That's true, she doesn't go down that easily. Even I have difficulties when I spar against her. I consider shaking her shoulder to try to wake her up, but she looks like she's out cold, which means I'm the only one left. All of a sudden I hear banging upstairs. Crouching next to the wall to hide, I move across the wall until I reach the stairwell. Quietly moving up the stairs, the loud crashing of the door breaking open startles me a little. Quickening my pace up the stairs, I finally reach the top and head toward the noise. If you can click, please. Well, that's very awkward. Realizing it originated from Natsuki's room, I quickly rush in and find Hideki holding her up by her neck, strangling her. Her tear-filled eyes stare down at him with distress and fear. Alright, it's time. Standing behind the Hideki, I wrap my right arm around his throat and throw my weight down while pivoting my hip. Oh, Jesus. The movements cause Hideki to release Natsuki and send him flying over my shoulder. Oof. When he hits the ground, he quickly rolls back to break his fall. He stands back up and looks in my direction, shocked and irritated at my interruption. You have a lot of nerve to distract me from what I was doing, Julia. My name isn't Julia, Hideki. You're still alive. Jake, how did you survive? You of all people should know this by now. I'll go over to Natsuki and then back to her father. You don't kill the Reaper that easily. Natsuki sits in the corner of the room and she must be scared and confused by everything happening all at once. Okay, now that we're all caught up, oh my god, we're almost an hour and a half in. Oh, but I gotta end the episode. I can't end the episode yet, though. For what Mayuki said, Julia told Natsuki I was dead, so this has to be a shock to her. Hideki walks toward me, our gazes meeting each other with an unending fury. I've heard all about you, as the rumors are true after all. You, and so many others. That you're Branch's youngest, yet most effective killer. He eyeballs Natsuki after saying that. Yeah, you heard me correctly, Natsuki. Your boyfriend here is a killer. He mercilessly kills without a second thought. And of course, he hides it all from you, so you don't suspect anything. She looks closely at me, unsure of what to think or feel. I'm aware of the monster I've become, but I'm nowhere near your level. How can a father abuse his daughter like you do? You're the monster here, Hideki. I don't need to be lectured by an overconfident brat. Especially one that is wasting time and effort for someone so unimportant. Do not talk about your daughter that way. Natsuki is more than important to me. Whatever you say, one man's trash is another's treasure. Hideki quickly grabs a lamp that was sitting at Natsuki's bedside and throws it at me. Throwing my left arm to the side, I block the lamp from hitting me in time to see the man charge directly at me. Smart! He throws at something at him, but then charges it at the same time to distract him. His shoulder collides with my chest, and from the impact from it feels as if I had been just hit by a truck. Gah! My body is thrown back against the wall, and then nearly knocking the wind out of me. Struggling to keep my knee strength, I stand back up and fully catch my breath. He charges at me again, readying his right hand for an overhead strike. Throwing my left foot out, and then touching the wall, I kick off and get away for just in time. Managing to get behind him before he recovers, I grab hold of his left arm and try to twist it. Once I have it at an angle, I can use it to my advantage. Kneeing him is my only option. Breathing in and out, I shove my right knee directly into his back. Expecting him to recoil, I try to get away. I pull his arm close to the distance between us. However, he doesn't recoil or even grunt. He twists his abdomen enough to elbow me in the face with his free hand. Dull, yet accurate pain permits my skull, forcing me to let go of Hideki's arm and stumble backward. Unable to react quickly enough, he grabs my head with both of his hands and throws me down toward the incoming knee. Shit. If he manages to hit me with that, I'm going to lose consciousness for sure. The final second, cock my neck to the left, forcing my upper chest to take the brunt of the blow. Wrapping my hands around his leg, now free for me to control, I push forward to throw off his balance. If I can get him to the ground, I can destroy his kneecap and immobilize him. Not bad, kid. Sensing something above me, I feel a crashing blow to the center of my back, and that almost causes my body to go limp. He's slamming his elbow down directly onto my spine. Forcing my body to ignore the pain, I shove myself forward quickly enough to wrap my arm around Hideki's back. Kicking my other knee against his groin, I shove him backward and into the wall. He hits much harder than you expect. I have to avoid taking hits as much as possible. If he manages to land a nicely placed shot, I will lose consciousness, and that'll be the end. It isn't like I can be quick either. He hits hard and is just as fast as I am. Jake, are you okay? Natsuki's scared voice cracks from the corner of the room. Don't worry about me. I want you to get out of here. It isn't safe. But I can't just leave you. Natsuki, if I lose this fight, and you're still here, you will die. So, do as I say. Run! Natsuki timidly gets off the floor and while staying near the wall, opposite of her father, leaves the room in a hurry. Smart, dude. Hideki looks at her and gives me an opportunity to strike. Grabbing the book off of one of Natsuki's shelves, I throw it at him and hit him directly in the face. Ugh! Did you just throw a book at me? You threw a goddamn lamp at me! We both charge into each other and start throwing hooks and jabs, barely missing each other with each attempt. I fake a kick, and when he reacts, I slam my elbow opposite him against his temple. Wrapping my arm around his neck and positioning him into a lock, I start to barrage him with a frenzy of knees to the stomach. But he manages to lift me off the ground with just his upper body while he is still in the headlock. He runs as fast as he can into the wall behind me, slamming me into it. Damn, now he has me pinned into the wall. My lock doesn't hold up due to the sudden attack on my body. Hideki easily slides out of it and throws his dominant fist into my face. I manage to catch his next swing with my hand and barely save myself. Hideki grits his teeth and tries to pull his hand away to ready another strike. By keeping my grip on his fist, I raise my knees and plant both of my feet solidly against his chest. Taking a deep breath in and out, I push against him with every ounce of my strength. After dropping onto the floor, I roll out of his way as he gets back up. Damn it. I am getting much more tired than I can really stand right now. We both share a minute of solid, but tense silence as we breathe to catch ourselves up. It looks as if he's winded too. So at least I know I'm making progress. But probably progress that isn't profitable. I'm losing energy too much to keep this going. Getting tired over there, kid? Nah, I'm fine. What about you, old man? I can go all damn night if I have to. Well, sorry to break your heart, but I don't have that sort of time. Then I'll just make this quick. He fakes to left and charges at me from the right, colliding into me and pushing me towards the window. We manage to lock arms and push each other and to the point that we're matched. I'm not moving any further back, but neither is he. He takes his hand off my shoulder and wraps his arm around mine. He's going to break my arms. I have to abort. Letting go of him, just in time, my arm slips out of his grips, thus sparing them, but allowing him to take the advantage. I take another extremely hard impact against my face, but I lose all the footing I have to defend myself. He uses his body weight to shove me closer to the window, opening himself up to the uppercut. Using a majority of my strength, I hit my fist against the underside of his chin. His head cocks up abnormally, but he loses his foot for a second, nearly falling onto me. I'm unable to anticipate his kneeing me into the stomach and knocking me into the wind out of me. My body's still in shock and struggling to breathe. He wraps his hands around my throat and pushes me against the open window. Ah! Alright, this isn't good. He planned this entire thing out. He purposely waited for me to attack and knock the wind out of me so he could finish me off easier. I can barely move. I'm pushed against the lower half of the windowsill, and so my only chances of moving is null. He pushes further toward the window, causing my back to arch outside.
Ah. Ahaha. Now I'll make sure you die.
Got me pained. I can't allow myself to fall out the window. His grip on me and the sudden weight change would snap my neck, and I can't fight back. Since I'm out of his reach. Try to slam my elbow against his arms to break his wrist, but that does nothing except to expend the energy I need to think. Damn it! Come on, Jake, think. This is how I'm going to go out. I might as well glare him into death. Yeah, that's right, Hideki. I'll kill you with my eyes. Least I can do. His eyes widen and he lets go of me. My body forcing itself to breathe, I start to cough profusely, unable to regain control of my breathing. Gets out of the corner of my eye, I see Hideki reach toward his back. He turns and I notice something that both relieves and terrifies me. Natsuki has jumped onto her father back and is digging her nails into it and teeth into him. No! That's good, but also bad. Natsuki, you should have ran! No! Natsuki, you should have ran! Okay, I'm gonna try to stop talking. Her small stature works out for her in the circumstance too, as Hideki is barely able to reach her. She saved my life. You're goddamn crazy, Natsuki. I need to cough while trying to move, but my body sucks in so much air at a time that it makes it hard to focus.
Get off me, you little bitch!
Natsuki practically growls as she attacks her father. Trying to focus and perform my breathing exercises again, I start to feel fuzziness in my head dissipate. But unfortunately, as I finally regain my composure and turn to face the beast in front of me, Hideki has managed to grab Natsuki's throat, ripping her off his back. He angles his hips and pivots his abdomen, throwing Natsuki against the wall by only her throat. Ah! Natsuki! Her body falls to the floor. Hideki looks at me, finally finished with our song and dance. What? Was that a little too hard? Did I break her neck? Natsuki remains unmoving on the floor, instantly sending a hot wave of entirely new anger through my veins. That's it. I lost the woman I love get hurt for the last time. Because of me that she could be... continue that thought, Jake. Destroy him. Look at him. Do not allow him to survive this. He's just like your father. Slaughter him! Without making so much of a single sound, I throw my weight down into my knees and launch myself at Hideki. Catching him just as he pushes his glasses up to his nose, I throw my right fist into his cheek, using that momentum to spin myself around and bring my elbow down into his skull. Gah! Grabbing his head in both of my hands, I dig my nails into him and shove his face into my knee. He grunts and falls onto his back. Coming onto him, I wrap both my hands around his neck and start to squeeze with the very last fiber of my being. His throat abnormally contorts inward as my finger pry the life from his body. He struggles to breathe, and I focus my vision directly onto my hands. It tunnels to where my hatred and my anger can watch him die. Suddenly something alarms into the side of my head, knocking me to the side and stunning me. Placing my left hand at the source of the pain, I feel a warm sensation run down my finger. Pulling it away, I see that there was a bit of blood covering it. Shattered remnants of a thermatic lamp lie around me and Hideki. He shovels back to his feet and I do the same. Damn, that hurts. That constantly tingling ache from my skull makes my left eye wince, inhibiting my vision. Stabilizing myself, I stare him darkly in his eyes while he dusts the wife's dress shirt off. Wiping my bloody hands from my shirt, I grip the back of my fist to reassure myself. Not too uncommon, but after receiving a pretty heavy blow to the head, as I have, but find it hard to fully regain the strength in some of the other of their limbs. This includes being unable to fully straighten your leg, or in this case, grip your head and hand into a fist. Taking one deep breath in, I charge at Hideki. Narrowly ducking under his fist, I slam mine into the side of his head. But he grabs onto my wrist and begins to throw me over his shoulder. God damn it! He manages to grab a hold of me and now he has me over his head. How do you feel about a broken spine? Shit! My view directed toward the ceiling now, I feel him pulling me down. Oh! Gah! An electrical shock shoots up my back and across my body. I can barely comprehend what just happened. I can barely feel anything. As the world phases back into my perception, an intense aching pain originates from my back. Hideki slammed my back onto his knee in an attempt to break my spine, but judging from the fact that I can feel this pain and move my fingers, I think it didn't hit hard enough to break anything. He pushes me off his knee and down onto the floor. I need to get up and keep fighting, and just lie here on the floor like this. He grabs at my hair and my shirt, pulling me up to eye level with him. You know, you put up a good fight for what you are. You're definitely the most tenacious bastard that I've ever had to kill. Born and raised. One of my fists slams into my face. The sheer force behind it nearly disconnecting me from consciousness. I try to knee him in the stomach, but the blows I'm taking are just taking too much energy to bear. I'm focusing everything on his hits, so I can barely do as much else in spite of my fatigue. He readies another fist to try to catch it with my hand, only to fail and slightly block his impact. Feeling more and more strength leave my body, I go slightly limp in his grasp. Damn it. My plan won't work at this point. He's already beaten the hell out of me to the point of near unconsciousness. I'm so tired. I can barely bring myself to make a fist anymore. No. I force myself to make another fist. I can't let her down. Ducking my head to the angle where I can comfortably see Natsuki, my eyes widen. Natsuki isn't there? What? What? Oh, I just guessed it. Oh. I think he lets go of me and I land down on my feet. Looking behind behind Hideki's right shoulder, I see Natsuki standing on the floor, panicked, holding a handgun shakily in her hands. Natsuki? Hideki tries to stand back up. His face turns white as soon as he touches his wound. Did she shoot him? Accepting the opportunity that had befallen me, I stand myself back up quicker than Hideki can, and then elbow him to the side. He's almost to the side, and I dash toward Natsuki. Natsuki, give me the gun. She holds out the gun, and before I can have a chance to grab it, I hear pounding behind me. Hideki has recovered and is coming right for us. Quickly reaching the gun and Natsuki, I pull her close to my chest and point the gun at the tyrant approaching. Gert! The round whips through his chest and impacts him hard enough to make him stumble. Slightly moving away from Natsuki, I kick her father in the chest and bring him to his knees. Okay, I'll just be taking that for thumbnail. Pointed the barrel of the gun down at his head. He looks back up at me with a shock and fury in his eyes. You son of a bitch. You brought this on yourself, Hideki. You toyed with an innocent girl's life, putting her through horrible conditions and atrocities, all for your own gain. I am her father. I could do whatever the fuck I please with her. You're no father. Huh? Father wouldn't do any of this. And how would you know how to parent, huh? When I have a daughter of my own, I will not become the monster you or my father were. Ha 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 ha. Such bold words coming out of the mouth of a hypocrite. A hypocrite protecting a cockroach. no less. Natsuki remains close to my side, watching the coming circumstances. This has to be the end of it. Well, you're going to kill me. Give the gun to my daughter. I prefer it to be her than that ends my life. The grip on me instantly tightens, assuring me that she regrets hearing that very deeply. Oh. If I give the gun to Natsuki, I'm gonna make her decide whether or not to kill her own father. That isn't a decision anyone would be ready to take at the moment. Regardless of who her father was, Natsuki is still a girl, and fragile at that. This decision would weigh too heavily upon her. Plus, if she kills him, it could lead to her becoming a monster like myself. She doesn't deserve that. Though, to protect Natsuki from the burden of this choice, I will take it for her and make this decision. No, Hideki. I'm going to be the one who decides what to do with you. Huh? What? I am not going to let her live with the weight of this decision bearing down on her for the rest of her life. So, to vindicate her of this responsibility, you are doing it yourself? How noble. Keeping the barrel pointed at the wounded man's head, I try to contemplate what I do with Hideki Abayashi. After all, he is Natsuki's father. But she isn't safe around him. He caused her more pain than she will ever know. He's become a severe threat to myself and the Central Branch. He's a 4-digit agent from the company, so killing him won't go over well with relations between the branches. If I take him into the agency, Central Branch can do what they need to bring justice to him. But if he remains alive and something happens, it could spell trouble for Natsuki and I. Damn it. Do I really keep someone as horrible as him alive? Or do I end everything right here and face the consequences later? Kill him. He's been nothing but trouble for you and Natsuki. He's raped her, beaten her, starved her, tried to murder her. And most of all, he's like your father. If you had a gun to your father's head right now, and this was him, you'd pull the trigger without warning. Hideki Abayashi is just like your father, Jake. Do it. Kill him. Right. Pull the trigger. Who the fuck would not do that? Are you stupid? This has to end here and now. If I leave him alive, he will still be an extreme threat. I've only barely defeated him thanks to Natsuki. Next time, I might not be so lucky. Do it. Kill him. He's just like your father. No, he isn't. He may be an absolutely despicable being that's lower than dirt, but he isn't as bad as him. But this is the decision I've made, and I will live with its aftermath. Give me one good reason why I should let you alive. For a moment, he looks up at me and smiles. Huh. I can't. I faced myself long ago and understood what I am. As an agent and a father. And if I was in your position, I wouldn't have even asked that question. So no, Jake. I cannot give you a good reason to let me alive. I have my hand around Natsuki's head. I pull her into my chest so she can't see what's about to happen. It's over. Holy shit. I sit down on the curb and wait for the coming sirens. Every muscle within my body aches horribly. Even taking a deep breath requires a lot of energy to endure the pain. I get down on both of my hands and watch them quiver gently. But a hand being placed on my shoulder diverts my attention. Hey, how are you doing? I'm fine. What about you? Natsuki sits down beside me and looks at the asphalt on the road below her. I don't know, honestly. So much has happened that I can barely keep up with it. I mean, earlier today at school, I was told you had died. And then my dad tries to kill me, random people show up to my house, call my dad a different name, and then you show up out of nowhere. My dad calls you a killer. Just don't really know what to think right now. Mayuki walks out the front door with Julia next to her, rubbing her forehead. Make eye contact with her and then back to Natsuki. You deserve an explanation. Natsuki flashes me a concerned look and scoots closer to me. What's going on? Took another deep breath and prepared myself to a massive amount of information I'm about to dump to her. I know that I'm not supposed to be telling her any of this, but she deserves it after what has happened. Natsuki, your father changed his identity when you were extremely young. His real name is Hideki Abayashi, but he had changed it to Matsumoto Kejin to hide his real identity. With that, he also had some of your records doctored and mitigate suspicion. What? Why would he do something like that? Not quite sure why he personally did that, but I know it was effective in throwing off his trails of investigation. What do you mean investigation? Well, ever since I met you and learned about the home situation you dealt with every day, I told myself I was going to protect you from it. But I didn't know how to. If he was your father, there weren't really any options I could take that were to be beneficial for everyone. After you were admitted to the hospital, I met your father, and I had a very, very strange feeling about him. A feeling of familiarity that is hard to explain. Did some research and talked to a few people. Turns out Matsumoto had no records at all in the public database. Almost like they were deleted to make him blend in with everyone around him. Natsuki's face proves she is having a hard time processing this. So, in a courtesy, I pause and give her some time. But how did you do any of that? That's where I was eventually going to lead. Natsuki, do you remember what I told you about my job? Little as it was, yeah. You recalled when you were needed to help when staffing was low for the day. That is a front that I tell people. What your father said about me was right. I do kill people. I'm an agent for an organization I can't tell anyone anything about. I'm asked to do specific tasks, and I follow through with them as I was trained to. Like an assassin? Poor choice of words, but it's probably best I don't go into too much detail regarding that. For your safety, of course. But it turns out that your father was employed by my organization and had extensive connections as a result. He knew that I was an agent shortly after we met, and he attempted to have me killed multiple times. What? The most recent time was I nearly strangled to death, barely managed to survive. But since I survived, it opened up an opportunity for Julia, her assistant, and I to plan, investigate, and attack, especially under the guise that I was dead. So Julia lied to me? Not really. This entire time she was under the impression that I was dead. I didn't reveal my survival to her until just hours ago. It's not nice to leave a girl feeling like that. Natsuki's eyes start to fill with tears and her hands tremble. Take my right arm and wrap it around her. What matters is that I am alive now, and you are safe. She rests her head against my shoulder and grips tightly onto my hand, our fingers intertwined. I'm sorry I didn't stop this sooner, Natsuki. That's something I am always going to regret. Fake, you dummy. You acted very maturely through all of this. It's something I really like about you. Even though you were upset near then breaking point, you kept your cool and remained the bigger man. You did everything you could to help me, and you have no idea how much I value that. After all, you did keep your promise. I turned my head to look at her curiously. You did save me. Natsuki leans up and kisses my cheek. Placing my head on her back, I kiss her forehead and pull her into a hug. Red and blue lights shine over us as police and paramedics speed down the street. Julia rests against Mayuki's car while Mayuki checks for any injuries. The paramedics check all of us out while the police take care of the bodies in the house. We're brought to the hospital to get more extensive medical assistance. Natsuki didn't receive any substantial injuries, she's cleared. Julia is diagnosed with a grade 3 concussion, but more serious than that. I have several sprained bones, a minor concussion, a broken rib, and a few muscles that have been torn out of my back. After being discharged from the hospital, Mayuki offers to drive Julia, Natsuki, and I home since Julia's concussion impairs her from driving. Natsuki and I sit in the back of the car while Julia sits in the front passenger seat. Our fingers are intertwined. Natsuki looks over at me and rests her head on my shoulder again. The image of her, how scared she was when she shot the handgun resonates through my mind over and over again. It was the face of someone who wasn't ever meant to harm, bringing harm to somebody. Natsuki is a sweet and gentle girl. I know what she did is going to stay with her for a while. Well, I'll do anything to keep that from affecting her. Subconsciously, I tighten my grip on Natsuki's hand, prompting her to probe. Everything okay? Yeah, I'm just thinking. You look stressed. Is there more than that is happening that you're not telling me? I look at Julia, and she looks back, both of us exchanging glares that say, you know what's going to happen because of this. I'm sorry you had to fire a gun tonight. Hey, you don't need to apologize for something like that. I did what I could to save you. I'm very proud of you for it. I laid my head over and kissed her forehead again, which causes Natsuki to blush and avoid eye contact with me. You were quiet about it too. Didn't you ever even hear or notice that you even had left the room? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. When my dad threw me into the wall, I thought I'd broken my neck. It hurt to move and it hurt to breathe. I thought I was going to die, but I saw how much you were trying for me, and I felt. Natsuki looked back up into my eyes, and her pink diamond eyes sparkling in the moonlight. To try for you too. So I managed to crawl out of the room quickly and run downstairs. Grabbed a gun and shot him to get him off of you. I'll make sure you don't have to do that ever again. Natsuki just smiles and rests her head back on my shoulders. With a comforting and soothing silence, I lean my head back and glance out the window. After a few minutes, Natsuki dozes off and Julia looks back. Let's talk about the problems that are going to come. Let's talk about the problems that are going to come out from this. I've been waiting for this discussion. I spoke to the assistant director a little bit ago, and it turns out that the Eastern Branch is denying all responsibility for Hideki's actions. As I would expect them to. However, they are extremely unhappy with the fact that the agents from our branch did something snooping around in theirs, accessing their information, and killed a retired agent when we could have brought him in. And since he was killed, they were demanding reparations. I had the opportunity to make that choice earlier. You made the decision you felt was best. I fully respect and understand it. You did good, Jake. I needed to hear that. Thank you, Julia. The car finally pulls up from the driveway where Natsuki and I step out. She rubs her sleepy eyes and yawns while I close the door behind us. We're finally home. What a long week. I grab Natsuki's hand and wave to Julia and Mayuki while they pull out of the driveway. I open my front door and make sure to scan every corner, every shadow, every inch of my house that I can see. Once I'm fairly certain we're okay, we both walk inside. Immediately, we both walk up the stairs and into my room. A white box sits on my desk that I have been looking for quite a bit. Mayuki did me a favor when she and Julia retrieved some of my things after my death, quote unquote death. I take the box and walk out of my bedroom with it. I return to my bedroom. I place my hands against my back and try to stretch and alleviate the lingering tension that strains my muscles. Hey, you're more than welcome to have the shower to yourself first. I have to take care of a few things before I can shower anyway. Alright, good, because I really need one. Especially after tonight. Ugh. Natsuki shudders and grabs a change of clothes for a prepared box we took with us. The box contains necessities like clothes, female amenities, and personal belongings. One thing in specific catches my eye as she leaves the bedroom. I reach the box and grab it, gently running my thumb across it. Placing it onto the middle of the bed in a specific position, I stand back and kneel down close to it. Thank you for taking care of her while I was gone, Suika. I knew I could count on you. Smirking, I stand back up and stretch my back out, ignoring the intense pain that results from it. Moving over my closet, I open it and sift around for a change of clothes myself. My bloody, dirty, and torn clothes now have reached their end. After picking out my acceptable clothes that would fit Natsuki's standards for myself, I hear the water turn on in the bathroom. Further than the page of my book, I hear the bathroom door open and shuffles coming down the hall. As I get into the bedroom and stands at the doorway. Aw, that's cute. Well, look at you. Did you get these for me? Yeah, I was planning on surprising you with them later on, but, well, you know what happened. I love them. The fabric is so soft and the pattern is my favorite. I thought so. You look adorable in them. Natsuki places both of her hands against her hips and looks at me scornfully. What did you just say? Over my book and keeping my gaze on her eyes, I challenged Natsuki in a stoic voice. I said, you look adorable in them. You want to get smacked? I'm not too exhausted to take you on. A moment of silence fills the room, and as both of us stare at each other, struggling to keep ourselves from laughing and breaking bearing. Hehehe. Mentally marking where I am in my book, I close the cover quickly and place it on my bed into my desk. Excuse me, I'm gonna take my shower now. Should lie down and get some rest. That sounds like heaven right now. You don't know what kind of day I've had. Only imagine, sweetheart. Get up and walk over to Natsuki. She stands in the doorway. Wrapping my arms around her, I squeeze her tightly and close my eyes. We won't be having those kinds of days anymore. Thank you so much for everything, Jake. I love you. As she says those words, I can actually feel the heartbeat throughout my body. I haven't felt like this since... I love you too, Natsuki. Pull away from my hug, and Natsuki's smile turns into a devilish grin. Heh. Now go take your shower, you stink. Raising my left arm, I smell the area around my armpit and recoil. Phew. Yeah, no kidding. I'll be on a few. Of course you had a rough night. Taking off my shirt, I examine my neck in the mirror. The discolored line across my is just barely visible due to the makeup that Mayuki has been applying to me every day. To be frank, I'm kind of surprised how well it holds, especially after the fight. And speaking of which, I can finally allow myself to relax. Over and support myself on the sink. The pain I have been forcing myself to ignore comes back in droves. Sucking in air through my teeth and looking back up in the mirror, I make eye contact with myself. The face I see is not the same one I'm used to. I'm different now. The face of a killer, the face of a kid raised to be a monster that can force himself past the moral and mental restrictions on murder. But the fact of the matter is that everything is over now. Natsuki is safe, that's all that matters. To me, at least. Stepping into the shower, and all the hot water to run down my tired body, and then imbue it with relaxation. I close the curtain, and notice the white box I placed in here earlier for Natsuki. I got her those pajamas because I knew she would love them, which she does. Seeing her happy and comfortable in them gives me a renewed sense of peace. With the fact that she can now relax in them without being in constant fear eases my mind. I'm glad to be able to provide that for her. If anyone deserves it, it's her. She's had to deal with an unimaginable fear of desperation because of a man who wasn't qualified to call himself her father. Reaching up and tossing my shower, my right hand, I clear my thoughts and finish my shower with a quiet peace. Walking back to my room, Natsuki is lying down in my bed, cuddling with her teddy bear and sleepily looking toward me. You have a nice shower? Yeah, found it very calming and therapeutic. That's good. Natsuki's voice is weak with tiredness. Her half-open eyes are fighting to remain open in comfort of her position. Making my way to her bed, I lean down and kiss Natsuki on her forehead. She reaches up and wraps both her arms around me, bringing me down to meet her lips. Oof. Finally. We share in a kiss before I pull away, and Natsuki's blushing face buries itself into the pillow. Don't think too much about that, Tommy. Kind of impossible. No, it isn't. Natsuki attempts to once again tsundere herself out of the situation. Maybe this one I will let her win. Alright. I guess I'll just let go of the fact that an angel just kissed me. Keep this act up and you won't get any more. Smirking, I lift myself from the bed and turn off the light. Would you prefer I slept on the couch downstairs? I'd prefer if you slept right here with me. Natsuki pats the bed, the gesture for me to come lie down next to her. It would make me feel safer. Of course. Returning to the bed, I lift the blanket Natsuki and I are sharing and lie down next to her. She hesitantly scoots closer to me and rests her head on the pillow facing me. Both look into each other's eyes for a while, saying nothing but communicating with our eyes. Natsuki finally looks like she can rest peacefully for once, and I'm glad I can make that happen for her. And I promise, from this day forward, she won't have to deal with the hell she had been put up with for so long ever again. Natsuki's eyes finally close, and as she slips into sleep, she smiles. My hand around hers and grip gently. My final thoughts before drifting into unconsciousness fall back to the consequences of Hideki dying. There are going to be a lot of further battles ahead with Eastern Branch as a result of my decision, but I'll be ready for whatever comes next. Hey! Even a monster can listen to his heart. Wow. Oh, Monica is part of this. Oh, Monica. Princess Natsuki. I remember Natsuki. Playtesting. That's it. That's Fruits of the Literature Club. That's the Natsuki route. All done. All said and done. Holy crap. Music. Dan Slovato, Princess Natsuki, and a lot of people I don't know. I know Princess Natsuki because I watched Zero. I watched Afro Zero. I think he's gonna be. I think he's a special thing. I think he was one of the special thanks in the in this. I'll let the like American Eagle's the creator of Fruits, so. But yeah, I think I'm gonna let the thing play. Let this play. Hey, Kronos! Oh, there's okay. No, just Monica's different. That's Monica. 3 with a 3 and 4. Monica. Special thanks to just Monica, Princess Natsuki, Afro Zero. There he is. Spaghetto and Monica. And Monty. There he is. There's Zero. Thank you. Runner-up mod of the year 2018, best unique and emotive mod 2018, best all-rounded mod of 2018. Wow, this was the best mods. Well, 20 wasn't. No, I think 2019 was the one. Inspired by the amazing visual novel, The Fruits of Grecia, and the following, something like that. I don't know. I can't. Thank you for all playing. For all of us from the Fruits team, appreciate all the love and support you've given us. Aw. Nope. Copyright music. Copyright music. Sorry, I kind of had to. Copyright music. So, I got copyrighted for that, but that's oh my god, guys, that's Fruits of the Literature Club. 2 hours in. Actually, you know what? We'll load it from this point, and we'll see something. We'll do the other option, just to finish that off. Don't pull the trigger. Okay. Keeping the barrel pointed at his head, I come to terms with the decision I'm making. If I leave him alive, the agency will know what to do with him. As much as I hate him, I can't bring myself to kill the father of the girl I love. Can't let my revengeful fueled anger overtake me and make my decision this irrationally. Is this gonna end it badly because we didn't kill him? Because apparently we got a good ending for killing him. Pulling Natsuki into a tight hug with my arm, I look at Hideki and eyes menacingly. I'm not going to kill you, Hideki. I see. You prefer I suffer a life of regrets for the decisions I've made, huh? Couldn't have said it better myself. Our people will decide where you go and how you suffer. Everything you've done, you've had it coming to you. You're one enemy that will not drag to hell with me. True words of the infamous Reaper himself. Footsteps go up the stairs, drawing everyone's attention. A familiar face peers into the room. Jake, I hear gunshots. Mayuki? Becoming completely blindsided by Mayuki's sudden entrance, I don't take notice of Hideki reaching for me. By the time I notice, it's too late. He grabs a hold of the gun, twists my wrist, and takes control of the firearm. Jake! No, god damn it! He places the gun's barrel under my chin. Goodbye, kid. Shit! Damn it. That was a bad ending. Authorities responded to the sound of gunshots in the residential neighborhood. Jake, Julia, and Mayuki were all pronounced dead at the scene from the gunshot wounds to the head. Hideki and Natsuki were never found. Oh no. Okay. Bad ending. I got the good and bad ending. That actually was like really short. And then to avoid copyright. Okay. That was literally only 2 minutes. it was literally an extra 2 minutes, so there was no point in making a whole separate video for it. So, but all right, I want to give my thoughts on Fruits of the Literature Club before I end the video. So, for one, Fruits was such an interesting mod. I like funny mods, but like stuff like this where it becomes serious and then has like a twist and has like action. I think Fruits is my favorite mod so far. I think Fruits is my favorite mod of the ones I played so far, and I think this might be the best mod I played. So, I don't think any other mod can say it, but this one has taken the cake for me. So, other than because it had all of it. It had action, it had suspense, it had the love story, it had everything. Even had some comedy in it. It had some funny stuff in it. So it was great. I loved it. This was a great mod, and I couldn't imagine them doing it better. Afro Zero was a big part of it. Was a big part of the help of it. Not really a big part of it. Like Monica was a big inspiration for it as well. So, and like Monty and Zero. Speaking of them, as I need to talk about the next mod I'll play them, but let me get back to this. So I didn't want to ruin anything. So I'm surprised MC was alive. But at the same time, it makes sense because he was called the Reaper, and as well though, like he's the main character, so I doubt he'd die that easily. But coming back to that. Killing him was the best choice because that's what made to the end, made sure that Natsuki stayed safe, and of course MC can pay for all the consequences he's made for doing that. So that's an easy fix around, easy turnaround for that. So as well, like this has been a great mod experience. I don't know if I'll do the other routes. That's the thing. And apparently Natsuki's route was the highest rated route, and I can agree with that. I don't know if any of the other girls' routes is going to be better than Natsuki's, because this one was worthwhile. This one had so many twists and turns in it. So, I'll go back to Fruits to do the other routes at some other point, but I don't know when I'll do it. For right now, this is the last episode on Fruits of the Literature Club you guys are going to be seeing. I'll do more on Fruits whenever I do the other routes. When I do the other 3 routes, and after doing the other 3s, then that's when I'll call Fruits for an end. But for now, this is the end of Fruits of the Literature Club. I got nothing else to say about this, because like the way this mod played out, I think this could have done any better. This literally it could not have done any better. It did perfect. It did outstanding. And this is my favorite mod, and apparently it's stated by Zero that this is his favorite mod. So, and I can get why, and it makes sense. So thank you for the mod creators who are part of this. I follow the Discord server for Fruits of the Literature Club. So if you guys want to go to the Fruits community Discord server, then you can join that if you ever want to. I'm part of it because I want to see what future stuff they have planned for it. But yeah, this was an amazing mod. So other than that, that's all I have to say about Fruits. Like, this was a good mod. I have nothing else to say about it. So, and before I end the video, I have to talk about the next mod I want to play. So I mentioned Monty and Zero. Then the mod I would be playing next is Doki Doki Vigilante, which is a mod made from Zero. Right now it's in demo stage. Chapter 1's in full release, but Chapter 2 is a demo release right now, so I'm definitely going to be playing all those. I'll definitely be playing Chapter 1 and then Chapter 2, and then I'll be playing all of them whenever they all come out. So I'll be looking forward to most of the stuff that they come out with. So, and plus like, I don't know what that other mod was. It's my most popular one on the channel. After school. So I don't know if that's ever gonna be coming in full release. I don't know if that's coming ever to full release or not. It might be just a discontinued demo, but who knows? But yeah, look forward to Doki Doki Vigilante. It's like it's a superhero mod made by Afro Zero and Monica. So look forward to that. I definitely want to look forward to it. They mentioned something about it at like months ago, and I always pushed it aside because like it was in demo stage, and I wanted to see if they have it in full release. But like a lot of I was like, you know what? And I did a poll on Instagram to see if people wanted to play it or wanted me to play it, and the polls surprisingly turned out pretty well. So look forward to me playing Doki Doki Vigilante. I don't know when else. I think I'll stream the first episode, and then maybe record the other ones if I feel like it. But I don't know. I want to stream the first episode at least. The first episode, or the first couple episodes. I'll probably go for an hour and a half the first stream. But yeah. Other than that, that's it for this mod and everything else. Please guys, go and check out this mod. I found this mod out, like, if you guys want to go to like other content creators, they usually have a mod link description, but like you can go to the sub, you can go to the subreddit and everything like that for it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I hope you guys did too. I enjoyed it a lot, so I hope you guys did too. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye.